5th, and once again, I thank you so much for joining us for our weekly PPACA webinars. Just with a show of hands, if you could just raise your hand if you can see my screen. You know I struggle with technology sometimes, so let's get some hands raised. Thank you, Brent. I appreciate that. James, thanks. All right, so we have quite an agenda today, and as you may realize, again, that we didn't have a webinar last week because I was very privileged to be invited to meet with the acting commissioner of the Pennsylvania Insurance Department, Teresa Miller. So within my agenda, we'll go over what was discussed and, my thoughts from that meeting. But, again, we reserve these meetings to have an open forum to get your PPACA questions answered and asked. And also, part of our obligation that we feel to our agent partners here at URL is that, we want you to be successful. We want you to earn money because when you're earning money, clearly we're earning money. So with the open election period kind of being over, I thought it would be important to start bringing in some of our other department heads and, give you some timely marketing ideas. And this week, we're very privileged to have Steve Clemens on our webinar. He's the VP of Life Markets, and he's going to talk to you briefly about some of his turnkey solutions, marketing ideas for life sales. So without further delay or ado, I will hand over the screen to Steve. Well, at least I'll try. Let's see here. All right, I'm not sure. Okay, there we go. All right, there's Steve. I don't think we can, let me see. Okay. Steve,
very good. Can everybody hear me okay?
We can hear you now.
All right. Well, thank you. I just wanted to give you all maybe a 2-minute overview on a sales idea that's been helping other health insurance agents out there with the open enrollment period, with the dust settling on that. I've had a lot of partner agents reach out to us on looking for new sales opportunities and ways they can maybe market life insurance a little bit more effectively and further assist their clients. So we have a great little sales idea that should open the door to more life insurance sales and at least open the door to the conversation. And it really starts with a simple line for an extra $25 a month. And here's what we've come up with that. Since now you're in the door, for an extra $25 a month, you can help your clients and help them provide a life insurance benefit for 20, 25, or 30 years level term life insurance, or for a whole life or universal life policy. This benefit not only includes a life insurance benefit, but critical illness, which many of you know is going to cover things like heart attack, stroke, cancer, major organ transplant, ALS, blindness, paralysis, and more. Chronic illness. I like to call chronic illness the Band-Aid to long-term care. It's not long-term care insurance, but it's a Band-Aid to that. If your client cannot perform 2 of 6 ADLs, they can accelerate that benefit for a chronic illness need. And terminal illness. They have 12 months or less to live. They can accelerate their benefit for that. Also, with this policy for $25 a month, they can provide their children and or grandchildren a competitive college scholarship benefit of $8,000. If mom and dad pass away, the kids automatically get $24,000 for college education. If one of the 2 parents pass away, children in that family automatically get $6,000 for college education. And again, they can still apply for the $8,000 competitive college scholarship. And lastly, if mom and dad both pass away and leave their kids without parents, the guardians of those children will receive $900 a month per child to help raise those children until they reach age 18. This is all on a simplified issue, non-medical underwriting that can be issued in 2 business days or less, as well as there's a telephone paperless application process as well where you can get something issued on the spot. Very competitive product. It pays 105% commission from an A-rated carrier that's 140 years young. So let's take a look at an American family that could use this. Meet the Clemens family. This is myself, my wife Julie, my son Cooper, Delaney, Addison. So my kids are 7, 5, and 3. They keep us very busy. And here's a perfect example. Steve's health insurance agent, Deb, takes 2 minutes to review the add-on $25 monthly benefit. Deb uses an easy quote sheet. We have a quote sheet that the monthly premiums are already pre-calculated for you from a $50,000 amount to a $250,000 amount on, I believe, $25,000 increments. So very easy to use for 20, 25, 30-year term. If you're more tech savvy, we have a tablet quick quoter, a smartphone quick quoter that you can use as well. So Deb uses her easy quote sheet, pulls out the piece of paper. Steve, at 37 years old, 20-year term, $100,000, it's going to be $26.34 monthly. Julie wants the policy as well. For her, it would be $25.91. So that provides $100,000 of life insurance. 95% of that $100,000 death benefit can be accelerated for the critical illness, chronic illness, and terminal illness living benefit that's built into the policy. All my kids, my 3 kids, would have the opportunity for a competitive college scholarship of $8,000. Most people say, well, what do you have to do to get that? Do my kids have to be a valedictorian in school? No, they have to maintain a B average in high school and have up to, I believe, 40 hours of community service to qualify. We give 350 scholarships away a year, and on average about 900 children apply for the college scholarship. So that means on average about 4 out of 10 kids get that college scholarship benefit. Pretty nice benefit. So if we die, $100,000 tax-free death benefit to our beneficiary. The guardians of my kids, who we leave our kids with if something, God forbid, happened to us, would receive $900 a month per child. That's $2,700 a month. And over the life of my kids till they reach age 18, that's a $421,000 benefit. And my kids will automatically receive $24,000 for college education. Agent helps the clients. Deb helps her clients. She earns on a monthly basis $27.66, which is 105% of the $26.34. Annualized, that's an extra $331.88. This company can pay you on a as-earned basis. They can also advance 9 months of the first-year commission. Quick stat before I let Deb take over here. You can expect to spend $241,080 to raise a child born in 2012. And 4 in 10 adults have no life insurance whatsoever. So the hardest part for a life insurance agent is to get in front of clients. And for you in the health insurance markets who are meeting with clients like myself and my family, this would be an excellent opportunity to do an add-on sale. If you want more information after the meeting, just give me a call. Give myself a call, give Matt a call. We'll provide you the marketing materials to help you with this, a simple sales script to help you with this, and hopefully it'll help and help your clients meet some of their financial goals and their life insurance goals. You can write down my contact information. My extension here at URL is 132, and my email is stevec@urlinsgroup.com. I'd be happy to help you after the meeting today and provide you quotes and the marketing materials you need to move forward. Thanks for the time today. I'll let Deb take over from here. I'll pass the baton over, and please call me after the meeting if you have any additional questions.
Thanks, Steve.
All right. Yeah, and let's see, Deb. We'll change you back here. All right.
There we go. All right, thanks, Steve. Well, I hope everyone found that helpful. You know, certainly we're all struggling with the decrease in health commissions, so there's been tremendous volume coming in, but, you know, again, just an idea to approach them, approach your clients in this off season, and you know, talk to them about something that definitely is useful and a good product to sell and affordable for most people. So thanks again to Steve, and I will repeat his contact information at the end. So let's just get right into our agenda. You know, just wanted to remind you again about the Highmark Blue Shield authorization forms for the missing NPNs. We are going to be getting a data feed any day now, and that should, for the most part, include all of the 1/1 effective dates. That would be the time where you really need to go through those lists of the ones that you submitted and the cases that you're not getting paid on, because, again, you have 90 days from the effective date to essentially claim those cases through that authorization form. Otherwise, unfortunately, it's pro bono, and there's too much pro bono going in this business right now. So earn that money or claim that money that you worked hard to earn. So the meeting with the acting commissioner, Teresa Miller, I thought went very well. And I think, you know, from my perspective, the biggest concern I have is, you know, what's going to happen for 2016 with the enrollment if King versus Burwell, if SCOTUS rules that only state-based exchanges can distribute the tax subsidies or grant the tax subsidies, then where does that leave the marketplace? You know, one might argue that the dissolving of this law may be a good thing for the country, the taxpayers. However, you know, pandemonium and pure chaos in the marketplace, unlike just chaos, is never a good thing. So what we discussed is, you know, she comes from Oregon, and she was the head of the state-based exchange working group. What she said is there are 2 states that are working with this quasi-model called the SSBM, that supported state-based marketplace. And essentially, it's kind of in its own category. There are 2 states she mentioned that were using it, New Mexico and Idaho. And essentially, HHS recognizes these 2 states as operating a state-based exchange. However, they are utilizing the FFM platform, the federal platform. So I do think that her first option, Commissioner Miller's first option, is to look into that Band-Aid approach to get us through certainly 2015, but, you know, to give Pennsylvania as a state time to decide what route we're taking. Now, it's definitely clear that this administration, the state administration, is wanting to move toward a state-based exchange, and I have my own thoughts on that, and you know, good, bad, or ugly. But at the end of the day, we need to have a system that's going to work and not take 3 hours to enroll somebody and not cause the pandemonium. And I think that with this Band-Aid approach that, you know, knock on wood, for the balance of 15, no matter what is decided at the Supreme Court level, that will remain constant. Now that's, you know, conjecture, but it appears, you know, that it's going to continue. And again, the federal administration, the president, wouldn't want to see the dissolution of his signature bill or law. So again, I think 2015 we're safe, and that's good. So 800,000 tax records, wrong 1095s were sent out from the FFM. We're all aware of this. You know, what to do? Well, I called the marketplace last week because there's also information that about 50,000 people filed their taxes with this incorrect information and are given a pass. They're not going to have to file an amendment or refile their taxes. They were able to have kind of a pass by filing with this incorrect information. from this point on, actually from last week on, what they're telling me is that new 1095 information is going to be sent out actually the first week in March, so this week. And if they had already filed their taxes, they don't have to file them. But from last week through 4/15, they would have to amend their taxes if they filed. You know, if they filed today, then they're going to have to amend their taxes when they receive that information. So I'm not sure if any of you are getting calls on this, but I would bet you're going to get calls when the new 1095s come out. And you know, if they filed their taxes beginning of January or beginning of February, they should be safe. If they filed them within the last 2 weeks, I'd say that tell them to talk to their tax preparer and put an amendment into their taxes. You know, last week in my newsletter, I included an article from NAHU, from Jessica Waltman, basically saying it ain't over till it's over, and there is an extension for enrollment on the individual market side, which starts March 15th and goes through April 30th. And the extension is very specific. It is for people that are currently not enrolled in coverage through the FSM for 2015, and people that can attest that when they filed their taxes for 2014 this year, they had to pay the fee for not having health insurance coverage in 2014, and also attest that they first became aware of or understood the implications of the individual tax penalty after open enrollment of February 15th. This special election period can only be utilized through the FFM, whether they're subsidy eligible or not. And at this point, I'm not sure if it's an electronic process or if it's going to be another call-in situation. We'll get more information on that as it becomes available. But for somebody that enrolls from on 3/15, they would get a 4/1 effective date. For those that enroll from 3/16 until 4/15, they'll get a 5/1 effective date, and then 4/16 until 4/30 would get a 6/1 effective date. So it's still going to go with the 15th cutoff date, but it looks like there are 4/1, 5/1, and 6/1 effective dates available out there. So if you have questions on that, let me know. The information was in my newsletter last week, so pull that up. You can pull that up in our archives, or if you want me to send you a copy, I'm happy to do that. So we talked a little bit about the SCOTUS hearing that was heard yesterday. The ruling is not going to be delivered until June, which is when it was expected. There's a lot of, trying to figure out what's going to happen, and it's all over the place. But again, I'm not sure that anyone wants to see the pandemonium that this will cause. But who knows? We'll keep our eye on it, and as soon as we know anything, we'll certainly let you know. But at this point, it doesn't appear that we'll know anything until June. Also last week, new open enrollment period was released for 2016. As you recall, originally it was set for October 15th through December 7th, which mimics the Medicare Advantage open enrollment, which would have been chaos in and of itself. But they did actually extend it and change it. It's going to be 11/1 until January 31st. So it's a 3-month period, the same as we had for this year. I mean, the dates have altered, but essentially from 11/1 through 12/15, you can get a 1/1/16 effective date. And then, of course, that ends January 31st of 2016, unless they extend it. So watch for more information on that as we get closer to November. It's hard to even realize that the carriers are starting to formulate their pricing and their plans for 2016, but it's going to go fast. So we'll get you the information as soon as we have it available. Healthy PA, which was Governor Corbett's expansion, fiscally responsible, in my opinion, expansion of Medicaid, And, of course, Healthy PA, they're not taking any new enrollees. We all know that. The transition to traditional Medicaid is supposed to take place in June, so that's, you know, 2.5 months away. So I'm sure your clients are going to start receiving information, and just wanted you to be aware of that transition. It should be seamless from Healthy PA to the traditional Medicaid, but, you know, shoulda, woulda, coulda. We'll see how that all works. I'll gently remind you again that if you have done FFM business, or if you're still doing FFM business, please go to our website under the product information on the Health Plan Options tab and enter the information so that we can start tracking those cases. With the carriers, NEPA and Highmark specifically, and Western Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, adhering to the 90-day rule for claiming those cases, it's pretty important for us to recognize that the case is in the hopper and to start watching for those commissions for both yourself and for us as well. So I'll end it again with a thanks and more thanks. You know, I can't say it enough, and maybe I do say it too much, but I do truly appreciate all of the business that you have submitted through the 2015 enrollment period. I appreciate your partnership, and you know, certainly we want you to be successful. And you know, in next week's webinar, we'll talk more about PPACA, and in future webinars, we'll have additional guest speakers, if you will, to talk about some marketing ideas. So at this point, we're going to open it up for our open forum and the questions. You can either raise your hand and ask that question live, or if you want to just type it in, I'll be happy to answer those questions. Next webinar is next Thursday, March 12th. They're always Thursday at 9:30, so please join in when you can. They are also archived on our website. You just go to our website, url.insgroup.com, and on the right-hand side of the screen towards the bottom is a YouTube icon, and you can click on that and view all of our archived webinars, whether it's the PPACA webinars or the life markets, annuities, senior products, gap, and specialty lines. So a lot of information on there. Let's see here. Renee, it looks like there's really only one question. Renee asks a question that no new enrollees in the Medicaid expansion. Can you clarify? Renee, if they qualify for Medicaid, those parameters have not changed. What has changed is the product available to them. The Healthy PA product that was new for 2015, which was Governor Corbett's expansion of Medicaid using an FFM, or I'm sorry, the metal level models. So in theory, it would be an easier transition for the people that qualified for Healthy PA to transition to a private market, you know, hopefully get a job, earn more money, so that they can easily transition into the private healthcare sector, still with the metal level plans, but it would no longer be advantageous for them to, the people that qualify to, you know, keep their earnings low just to have the benefit of the very robust Medicaid program. So if anybody qualifies for Medicaid at this point, then they really only have one option. They make application the same site or through the FFM for the traditional Medicaid programs that are in place and have been in place for many, many years. They're, again, very, very robust, and you know, that's the option. So I hope that answered your question, Renee. And Renee says that she has a tax advisor on staff if anyone needs assistance with the 1095. Well, I think we all do. But again, they're going to get the people, the only people getting the 1095s are the ones that are enrolled, pardon me, on the individual platform through the FFM for this year. Next year, a lot more people, in fact, all of us will be receiving some sort of information about or documentation about our health insurance and the fact that we've had it for 12 months or haven't, for that matter. So that looks like all of the questions for today. You know, once again, I really always appreciate you guys joining in. I hope you find these webinars helpful, and certainly always happy to help. If you want to talk to Steve directly about the life markets programs that he talked to you about, you can give him a call here at URL. He's at extension 132, or you can certainly always reach him by email, which is stevec@urlinsgroup.com. And of course, if you have any questions that you want to ask of me, off-site, then you just let me know, and I'm happy to help you as much as I can. So without further ado, I will end the program for today, and hopefully I will talk with all of you next Thursday at 9:30. Enjoy the snow and be safe. Bye-bye.